Sounds good.
All right, we're good.
Awesome. Okay, so well, first of all, thank you for having us and taking your time out of your day to take care of our questions here and just getting us to know what kind of lifestyle you live out there with cars. We have our auto tech program where we're just basically introducing ourselves to the automotive industry, but you live it on a different level, and this is something that I think it piques everybody's interest.
Well, we just got my first racing Miata. It's actually in the garage right now. My dad is working on it. But I just started like being surrounded by cars, and it's really cool. And we're going to the track tomorrow. I do skip school sometimes to go to the track and to get those days in. I mean, it's every day I go to the gym and I practice on the simulator so that I have the mental focus and the physical ability to do what I do, which is really cool. It helps keep me balanced and like strong on the track, especially in the 100-degree heat. It's really hot right now. But yeah, I mean, just surrounded by cars and really knowledgeable people, it really helps me, catch up to speed, because I had the opportunity to do this when I was about 8, and I drove karts, but I didn't race because I was scared. And then I came back to it when I was 15 and my mindset changed, and I was like, wow, that's actually really cool. That was about 2.5 years ago, and now I'm racing and I love it. I just wish I started sooner.
Yeah, now we know you race cars, but what kind of racing do you do exactly?
So I do kart racing. So I drive the LO206 engine. It's a 4-stroke. So it's a little bit slower. It's more of momentum. And we go to 2 main tracks, the one in Katy, Texas, GCKI, and then the one in New Caney, which is speed sports. And then I just recently started doing the HR2 Challenge Miata at Harris Hills.
Oh, cool. So not only just karting, but full-size vehicles as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, is there a reason why you started doing the racing the Miata, or did you want to focus more on the karting, or you just wanted to venture out?
Well, really, I want to make this my career. So I think that the next step is to move into Miatas to learn the suspension, and there's a roll cage and there's a body roll. Like, it's so much different from a kart. So I think the best place to start was the Miata. And then eventually I want to move up into the motorsports ladder of racing, I guess you could call it.
Nice. Now, so this is something that you're focused on, for the rest of your life, or is just your main goal for right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's my main goal for right now, but I want it to be for the rest of my life. Like, it doesn't feel like work to me. It's really like my passion, and I want to pursue it.
Nice. That's a major key right there, because if it's just a job, then nobody enjoys it.
Yeah.
So we compiled a few questions amongst our students, and some of them that couldn't be here. Like I said, they were asking me questions, and I said, well, let's look up, in social media and things like that. But of course, it'd be best to find out directly from you. There's a few different points. Number one, how old are you again?
17.
All right. So you said you started racing at 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been 2 years of your life, but you've done this before since about 8.
Yeah, so my dad is a multi-level national, like he's been doing it for so long, about 40 years. He has his own business in karting, okay. So he's like professional. I just grew up around it.
So. Okay, so it was natural for you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. We actually have a go-kart ourselves here for our auto tech program, and we just use it for fun, nothing crazy, but I think we've hit about 50 miles per hour in our parking lot back here. So yeah, we kind of know what it feels like, but of course there's nothing like, the rush of having the whole pack with you, on the straightaway, and having your competitors around you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We were watching the crash that you had in Louisiana about a month ago, And I mean, it's crazy to throw your body around like that. We can only imagine it, but there's nothing like feeling it. I'm sure you were probably confused at first.
Yeah, very. I think I felt like I blacked out for a minute, and then I came back and I just saw spots everywhere, and I don't know, I saw that everyone had driven away from me, so I started crying. Not because it hurt, but because everyone drove away from me. And I mean, yeah, I was kind of like, what just happened? And I had no idea until I got back to the pits. And I sat down with my dad, and he's like, so do you want to see it? And I was like, see what? And he showed me the video he took. And I was like, oh my God, that was me. That's when I realized, like, wow, that was bad. And I really didn't realize it until he showed me.
Now, were there any injuries or just any repercussions after the crash?
Well, I got whiplash from like all angles of my neck.
Ouch.
It wasn't that bad, honestly. Really, it only just took like a week to recover. I got some ultrasound at chiropractor, and I was fine.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're pretty lucky. I think at that age, it's not too risky compared to, somebody older or, with an impact like that. Usually there's internal injuries and things that come with racing. But I'm gonna let my team here introduce themselves, and then we're gonna run a couple of questions by you because it's something a little bit different from your normal teenager weekends that you do. So I understand you probably race with other teenagers, but it's not something that most of your friends probably do, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let them take the lead and have them ask their most intriguing question that they may have for you.
Awesome.
All right, so who wants to go first?
Hi, my name is Maritza.
Hello.
You may want to get up close and. Oh, okay.
How you doing? My name is Oscar.
My name is Felix.
My name is Luis.
All right, so what's your question, Maritza?
How did your first time racing feel?
My first race was crazy. It was at Speed Sports. I started about mid-pack. I had just learned the track, and I was really nervous. Actually, the day before, I had a dream where I got up to the grid and I forgot all my racing gear, and everyone was about to go on, and I didn't have my helmet or my suit or anything. And I woke up and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I was just so nervous. And then so when the day finally came, it actually wasn't that bad. Like once the visor went down and the engine started, I was like, okay, I got this. And then actually the first corner, I got punted and spun out by a junior who wasn't even in my class. So it was kind of like, well, I mean, that's racing, I guess. That was my first lesson, is racing is tough sometimes. But after that, I was hooked. I was like, Dad, can we do that again? So that just begun the whole thing.
What inspired you to be a racer?
I would say my dad. He's a big inspiration to me because he kicks butt in everything he does, and he's willing to teach me all of it. And as long as I just like absorb and do my best, and it's just cool. We just get to bond together, and I think that's what started it. I just wanted to get closer to him.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. I have a teenager myself, so I hope he says things like that. All right, Felix, what do you have?
Okay, so my question is, how much horsepower does your Miata produce normally?
My Miata, I'm actually not sure yet. We're so new to the series. My first race is actually this weekend, but down the straights at Harris, they go about 90, 95. So, but they're not like very torquey. It's actually quite boggy. I mean, Miatas they're known as like the slow cars, but it produces really good racecraft. But to answer your question, I'm not sure yet. I can figure it out and send it to him. But that's a good question. I need to figure that out too.
Thank you.
What's the highest speed you reached in the track?
In carts,
Yeah.
I think it's about 75 in a KA 100. So It was on the straightaway, and I think at Speed Sports they have the longest straight. So you're going pretty fast, and you're only a few inches off the ground. So everything feels like when you're going 70 in a car, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. But when you're like 2 inches off the ground, it's like, oh my God, feels like you're flying. So, pretty cool.
Now, I have a question when it comes to women in the automotive industry, and especially, you know, since it's a male-dominated field still. When you first started, were you concerned about being a girl amongst, you know, mostly guys, or how was your perspective on that?
At first I was really nervous because there's not many girls. There's about 2 or 3 when the big races, like when everyone from the big races show up. So it's really limited. I was kind of timid at first, especially since everyone around me was a guy and I couldn't really like, I don't know, connect to them as well. But then I started to realize that it's in my advantage because I stand out more. Like I can get sponsorship easier, and you know, I just stand out way more than the guys because it's so male dominated. Well, now I'm glad I'm a girl because I don't know, I think it's awesome. It's placed to my advantage. So
Now, I know at your age, it's probably you're building up a lot of foundations for the rest of your life, but the perspective is just as important as whatever you do. So you can wake up in the morning and think just very negative thoughts about anything throughout the day. When you come in as a race car driver, and were you thinking, okay, well, is this going to be easy for me, or is this going to be hard for me because I'm a girl, or because I'm a beginner, or because it's, you know, I'm probably younger than some of these other racers, or I don't have enough seat time? Was any of that in your head?
totally, yeah. Especially when I'm going to new tracks like NOLA. I've been there one time, not last year, but 2 years ago. That was a concern, like, oh my gosh, the locals, they're gonna be so much faster because I don't have as much seat time. And especially right now, actually this week, because in a few days I'm gonna do my first Miata race, and I've never raced in a car ever before. So I'm really, really nervous because Racecraft, like, their car is next to you. It's not just a cart where if you bump someone, you know, oh, okay, just, you know, bounce off. Like, you know, it's so much, it's more different. And I don't know. I'm just hoping to make some cool passes and do my best and just stay out of trouble. But I definitely get those thoughts. Like the morning of the race, I'm going to be really nervous, but I know I got this. I'll figure it out. It'll come really easy to me.
Nice. That's a very good point of view, because you can always, you know, you set your foundation, like I said. So that's huge. You have another question, Maritza?
What type of engines do you run on your cars?
So we run the Briggs LO206 and then the KA100. And then they have different engine builders. You can send them out. I mean, those are the main ones that I've run, but they have a bunch of different classes. They have Rotax, they have shifter carts, which go 100 miles an hour plus, like 125 cc. And they're actually the same ratio as an F1 car, like size to power. So those are really cool.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, those are the only ones I run.
Now, these are regulated, right? I mean, the engines, you guys can't open them and modify them, or are you able to do anything with that?
No, it's pretty spec. Like,
Okay.
even like, yeah, it's pretty spec. Everyone's pretty much equal. You can send them to different engine builders, like I said, and they'll open them up and, like, you know, tune them, but that's legal. Everything is supposed to be spec.
Right. Okay. And now different weights, like let's say, you know, if you weigh 130 something pounds and then there's somebody that weighs 95 pounds, do they race in the same class as you, or?
So my class, the 206 senior, that is 360 pounds, you and the cart. So if you're under a certain amount of pounds and you have to add weight to your seat or to your cart or whatever, just to make weight, you can't be below weight, but you can be overweight, because you're just, at that point, you're just giving away speed. but there's different weights for each class. So, you know, if you're heavy, then you're giving away speed, but if you're light, you just add weight.
You have to add weight. Okay, nice. Got another one?
Um, what can you tell, like, what's some advice you can give to future racers?
I would say keep your head up and never give up when things go bad, because I've had races where I thought it was over and I was gonna like do horribly, but I ended up like winning or doing amazing. Racing is really tough sometimes. Sometimes we just end the race and we just say that was racing because something stupid happened, and you just have to blame it on that was racing, you know. But just stick with it and you'll get better over time, and things will work out your way eventually. Because I think the sport is great and more people should do it, because I've learned so many life lessons, and it's really not many people know about like these little things. Like karting is such a niche thing that it needs to be out there more, and I think more people should do it. And when things aren't going your way, just stick with it and you'll do good eventually.
Now that you mentioned how karting it's not so well known, I definitely agree with that, because as a teenager, you know, you're only exposed to certain sports, you know, like team sports, like football, basketball, things like that. But some people want to do different style of competitive activities, you know, like racing. I mean, that's all on you, and it's up to your own technique, and you get results from your own ways, you know. So very often I do see, you know, where people go, well, I don't want to be with a team. I want to do on my own, whether I do good or bad. So I do definitely agree with something like that. I don't think I could ever do team sports, but I can probably race a car or a bike or something like that, where it's all on me, whether I win or lose, you know.
Yeah.
How about you, Felix?
All right, so my question is, what type of racing are you looking forward in the future?
What type of racing?
Yeah,
So I recently found out about the W series. It's basically a series full, everyone is a woman, all the drivers are women, and they race alongside F1. I had no idea that existed, and I was like, oh my God, this is the dream I never knew I had. Because F1 driver, or the F1 teams who are looking for new drivers, I'm sure they're scoping them out and they're gonna like, oh, this is a good one, let's put her in a seat, you know. I mean, as you might know, there's no female drivers in F1 right now.
Wow.
I'd say my ultimate goal is F1, but for now, like W series would be really cool because they're getting a lot of exposure now. And I mean, even F3, F2, they're scoping them out and like, ooh, that's a good driver, let me put her in the seat. But yeah, I think that's my goal right now. Definitely want to go somewhere bigger, televised, so I have more availability for sponsors.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always good to have, you know, just in life in general, just goals, you know, whether it's a 1 year or a 5 year or a 10-year goal. And of course, challenges. There's always going to be challenges. And very often people think there's a point where you reach success and then never have any challenges after that. What's your opinion on that? Do you think you would never, or do you think you get to a point where it's real easy, or it's always just going to be challenging to keep crawling up?
In my experience, racing is always work. I mean, even if you have like a 12 win streak, you still have to work your butt off for the next race. Like, it's not going to be easy. There's always challenges. Like, the track is constantly changing. Drivers around you are constantly getting better. You always have to be working on yourself, because if you don't, you're just gonna go downhill. That actually happened to me. I stopped doing the simulator, going to the gym, because I was like, you know, who needs it? And it showed on the track. Like, my progress wasn't, it was going downhill. But yeah, it's definitely always work. There's never a point where you're like, it's easy, I'll wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna win.
Right.
No way.
At a pro level or anything like that, I don't think you ever stop trying to keep your head above the water, right?
Yeah, it's a full-time job, really.
Oh yeah. How about you, Luis?
What's your dream car?
My dream car, it would probably have to be a red Ferrari. I really I really like the new red Ferraris. They're ooh. What about you guys?
Mine is the Mark IV Supra.
Ooh, those are nice.
We were in Austin recently, not too long ago, so we got to see a lot of those, and we were there for Radwood, which is an 80s and 90s era car show. So there was plenty of eye candy there for us.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
What about y'all?
Mine is a 911 Porsche.
Nice.
Mine is ready.
She said she wants your Miata.
You like my Miata?
One too?
And I've always mentioned, I think that the most fun car or your best car should be the one that you have the most fun and to make the most memories in. It doesn't matter, what type it is or what brand, or how expensive it is. But I mean, sometimes people do look for the price tag instead, instead of how many smiles per gallon you get out of it.
That's a good way to put it.
How about you? What's yours?
I don't have any at the moment right now. There's a lot of cars I like. I just like every car.
Interesting.
Mine is my 2001 Chevy Tahoe. That's my dream car.
Really?
I'm just
That's
kidding.
cool. I mean, if it,
No, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you can be happy with just a cheap car, or you can be unsatisfied with a very expensive exotic. So
that's true.
yeah, and I've seen it, where people are not happy with the color of their Ferrari or a certain model or trim level or something, but there's somebody out there that wishes they had that one car. So
Yeah.
now we do have a couple of other questions. One for me is, how do you deal with because like you said, racing is a full-time job, although some people think it's only on the weekends, or some people think it's only on Sunday or something like that. How do you manage like school and your social life and racing, for example?
Well, it's definitely not easy. I kind of make a schedule. After school, I'll go to the gym and then do whatever I have, homework, projects in the middle. And then when it gets late, me and my dad will jump on the simulator. He actually put one of his own Riptech seats, and he made like a kind of like a cart, it looks like, and it's in front of the TV, and we get in and we drive and we race each other, and it'll set like ghost cars. So we'll currently I have the track record at the track, so I'm proud of that. But we'll race each other, and it's actually an F1 car, so it goes really fast and it requires a lot of focus. But yeah, I mean, I just have to really make time for it. And people say like, oh, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that, but you really do. I mean, if you want it bad enough, you'll make the time for it. And it's difficult sometimes. Things will pop up where I'm like, oh crap, I don't have enough time.
Right.
I'll just stay up extra late and do what has to be done. I mean, it's tough, but you have to make time for it if you want to do good out there.
Right. Now, with dedication and is there any point where you go, you know what, this isn't for me, or this is not worth it, or just any low spots in racing where you go, this is it, this is the last one?
Not really, not yet. I don't want to say not yet, because I don't honestly, I don't think it'll ever come. I really love this sport, and like even training for it makes me happy. It makes me feel very balanced, and I don't know, I just love it all the way around. I hope that doesn't happen, but so far, not really.
Yeah. Now, what kind of experiences do you think have made you stronger? Kind of like that crash that we just saw earlier. Is there anything that stands out where you go, okay, I learned from this one, and I know at the next one I'm going to be an even better driver?
Yeah, so definitely at the beginning of my career, I've made some really dumb mistakes, like on my part, like racecraft. say I passed in a spot that I wasn't supposed to pass in, and it dropped me back a few positions. That's happened before. And then I knew from there, I was like, okay, I need to think ahead, and I need to be more diligent when it comes to like making decisions on the track, because everything's so fast and you really have to like be strategic. Yeah, a lot of those have definitely made me like go, whoa, 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 that's not going to happen again. I need to really improve on that. The crash at NOLA, it really made me more aware of like my surroundings, and going into the next race, or the previous race after that, going to the start, was I kind of got a little bit of PTSD, because I was looking at the wheels of the other drivers like, oh my God, oh my God. But I mean, I think that's good. It made me really pay attention to detail more, because I didn't want that to happen again. That was pretty traumatic. And but I think stuff like that is really good for us, because it, that we can't make mistakes without growing. So definitely a ton of mistakes on track have made me better. But that crash, yeah, I learned a lot from that. I'm actually glad it happened, but hopefully no more in the future.
Is that your biggest crash you've had, or like your most serious?
Yeah, luckily it could have been way worse.
Okay, and I think that's, yeah. Right, exactly. And I've seen people get injured, with way less, less severe wrecks. So that was a good learning lesson for you, I'm sure. Now we have a couple of other questions. We know your dad is your inspiration. He's what's basically put you out there, and you grew up in the sport, right? So let's say, for example, you have a race on Sunday. How long do you have to prep for that certain race, or how long do you have to be out there, at whatever racetrack it is? Because I know there's a lot of prep work behind it.
So usually if I have a race on Sunday, we'll go the day before, so Saturday, and it's a 2-hour drive up to the kart tracks. So we'll just practice all day. We'll test things. There's a lot of testing involved: engines, clutches, axles, different types of wheels, caster. It just depends on the track. And we'll just be out there all day driving, and then we'll get a hotel, spend the night, and then the next day drive back to the track, and then we'll race. But usually it takes like a week before to like just mentally prepare to be on the simulator and visualizing the track every night. Go to sleep with the track in your head and do a few laps and just visualize, because your subconscious doesn't know the difference, and it's free. So
Right.
I'll go to sleep with the track is the last thing I've thought about.
So I'm sure the Katy track and speed sports in your head, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, literally in your sleep.
Yeah.
I've driven both tracks, so I know exactly what you're picturing, at certain points. So I know the stress behind it. I come from a background of mountain bike racing. Nothing close to kart racing, anything at high speeds like that. But I know the perspective you have of the night before, the jitters, and you can't sleep or something. So I'm sure that's never going to go away.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Now, are you a senior in high school?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Okay. So I know the senior year is usually like the year where, you have your plan laid out for after high school and after graduation. What's your plan aside from racing, or do you just want to go all out into racing full time?
Well, I want to do racing full time. That would be freaking amazing to me.
Yeah.
I don't like it would be like I don't have to work a day in my life. I want to do racing. But junior year is when they really start pushing college, and you have to go to college or else you're not gonna succeed. And that's just what they like push into our heads. But I don't think college is the best option for me, because I'm literally counting the minutes to when I can leave school. It's just not my thing, and I'd really just rather be on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Just doing practice days or racing or whatever. I just it's kind of stressful for me, because I'm questioning like, oh my gosh, what if I do this and it doesn't work out? But then I have to remind myself, like, if I want it to work out, I'm gonna make it work out. It's gonna happen, because I want it that bad.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely want to do this for the rest of my life.
And that's always, it's a similar story we hear often in our program, because not everybody's meant to go to college, and not everybody wants to go and do 4-year or 6-year degrees, especially the way the automotive industry has been turning. There's plenty of job openings for technicians and all kinds of positions in the industry. So we definitely understand your perspective, where you go, hey, this is what I want to do and this is my passion. And there's plenty of people for college, and if that's what that's what you want to do, that's what makes somebody happy, then go for it, But the way the industry has turned out here, I mean, we're running out of technicians, we're running out of service advisors, and anything out there. And a lot of people also think that the industry is nothing but turning wrenches and being dirty and grimy all day, where, I mean, in reality, you spend a lot of time on a laptop or on a scan tool or something and looking at data, things like that, where, we need a lot of math and numbers, and you basically figure out a vehicle just without ever touching a wrench. So
Yeah.
we definitely understand that. And that's kind of what we try to pursue here, is that our students end up, in some type of in a career, where they're happy, and whether it's with being a technician or a service advisor, or if we have somebody that's good at customer service, but they still want to be involved with cars. We just, we know the hands-on experience. It's what kind of sticks to you, just kind of like seat time on your cart. Anybody can tell you what the track is like, but it's never the same thing as driving it.
Yeah, I agree.
So we definitely understand that perspective. Now, do you guys have any other questions here? I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of others that'll pop into your head.
I actually have a question for them.
Oh, sure. All right.
So you guys go to a school that focuses on like cars and mechanics and stuff. So what do you guys want to do? Like, what is your career paths?
I want to go to a TSTC, which is like in Fort Bend, for welding. So I'm gonna do around 16 months of welding, so I can start off.
So basically fabrication training at it's called Texas State Technical College in Rosenberg. And it's a pretty awesome facility that we visit every year. So I think that's what got them hooked in there.
That's cool. That's awesome.
I want to go to UTI for collision repair.
So we're right down the street from Universal Technical Institute. I mean, we're probably about 5 minutes away. So we visit there often, and we have their representatives come down here and talk to us. And we actually participate in one of their competitions every year. So we're pretty lucky, because a lot of people from all over the country come out here just to go to Universal Technical Institute. So I think that's one of his goals there.
Oh, that's awesome.
I could say I have an internship for a shop I'm working on right now near my house. I go there every after school, help out, or at least repair parts, do oil changes, transmission fluids, all that stuff. And I'm going to stay there for a while to learn more about the industry.
And like I said, there's nothing better than real hands-on,
Mhm.
because we can spend all day in the classroom and just book work, but there's nothing like actually turning wrenches. How about you?
I want to go to TSTC and I want to do diesel.
Oh,
So yeah, we have everything here in the program, and most of the students here, they like the freedom where nobody's pushing you to do anything,
yeah.
or forcing you to go to a certain school or a certain program. So I go, if you do whatever whatever makes you happy, then like you said earlier, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Now, Let's see, we have a couple of questions. We actually wrote our questions down on a board, which is right behind our screen here. So it's kind of like a script. And we, yeah, go ahead and ask her.
Do you think I can see the Miata?
Oh, you want to see it? My racing Miata?
Yeah.
Okay. It actually says there's a time limit up here. I don't know. You guys see that? It says like
Oh, yeah.
3
Oh, yeah,
minutes.
it says,
Down the website.
it says remaining time 3:33.
Is it gonna like hang up? I don't really know how it works.
No, it won't hang up. It's been doing that for the past couple minutes. It's
Okay,
not gonna hang
it'll
up.
keep going. Okay,
Yeah.
now if it hangs up, can we start another one?
Yeah, we could just start another one. I'll just, I guess, take my
Okay,
laptop.
cool.
Yeah, he's
Cool,
actually
yeah.
working on it right now. Let's see.
Is he making repairs or adjustments to it?
He is actually, they want to see the Miata. So this is my dad.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey man, it's hot out here. That's why I'm like,
I get it.
excuse the no shirt redneck look. But yeah, man, we're getting it prepped for a track day for tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So I've got all the wheels off. I'm gonna rotate. I'm looking at all the brake pads. I'm just kind of looking at the battery, and they had some like really janky battery cables on it.
Oh, man.
So you know the ground wire wasn't very grounded.
Yeah.
It was loose. Then I've got to install in like a quick disconnect for the positive, so I don't have to use tools.
Right.
But yeah, just trying to get it solid so we don't have any issues.
Nice. Yes, this is awesome. Now, there's always going to be surprises at the racetrack. You know, is there anything that's that's kept you from saying, okay, well, this is it. We're not running it today, or just anything that's been a deal killer out there whenever you go, because you're a couple of hours away from every racetrack out there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, so far we haven't had any issues, but I mean, I don't know, she probably told you, I've been racing my whole life and know that, I don't know, 90% of it is at the shop in preparation.
That's right.
So she knows I spent a lot of time out here.
That's awesome.
And with the carts and everything. In fact, I've already got her cart ready to go. I've got the engine rebuilt, everything ready, because this weekend she's going to race the car on Saturday. When I come home and put all the kart stuff in the trailer, go back and to Katie and race. She's going to race a kart on Sunday.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So 2 different types of racing, 2 different, basically just everything different, except you just come home and get ready for the next one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, that is awesome. That's huge. So if anything ever goes wrong, is she gonna blame you, or is she gonna be?
Probably, yeah.
No, it's usually my fault.
Well, it depends on what you mean by that. If it's like driver error, of course it'll be on her. But if it's mechanical, it's on me. So
yeah, of course.
Team effort.
That's awesome. That is huge. Just very inspirational from many perspectives. Where number one, I mean, it's a father-daughter connection. And I mean, like I was telling her, I have a teenager myself, so the priceless memories are huge, when it comes to stuff like this. Time flies. Maybe not for them at their age, and at 16, 17, it's a year is a long